This is Strictly Business, presented by the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce. Sponsored in part by the law offices of Young Wooldridge, San Joaquin Community Hospital. And now, here's your host, Cindy Pollard, President and CEO of the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce.
Welcome back. Once again, I'm Jimmy Phillips from San Joaquin Community Hospital, filling in for Cindy Pollard this morning. You know, everybody has questions about money, and this is certainly applicable to small business owners across the country and in Kern County. Joining me now is Kris Pelster, a financial advisor at Money Wise Guys, and we're going to talk about retirement planning for small business owners. Kris, welcome this morning. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me today.
You know, let's talk first about the problem. Why are many small business owners in particular not really prepared for retirement or preparing their employees for retirement?
Well, I think that it's a common theme amongst most small business owners as far as just trying to grow their own business, become more successful in the business that they are growing. And in a sense, they are investing for the future, most of them, because they understand their business and they're pouring their time, efforts, and resources back into their own company, and they're really building it. So their own small business is a very important part of their retirement planning, but even that takes some steps to really understand like an exit strategy. And so a lot of them don't have the time, or they get a little bit overwhelmed when they start to think about actually offering a retirement plan or those types of things, because there is even some laws that govern retirement plans. So it's a little bit overwhelming. So they just focus on what they know.
So is it fair to say that small business owners are already some of the busiest people in business, and they simply sometimes have their hands in many, many different areas? And this is one that often slips through the gaps because it's not a today problem.
Right, absolutely. I mean, small business owners are wearing every single hat. They're opening the doors usually. They're closing down shop. They're doing the research for health care benefits if they're doing that as well. They have all these hats that they're wearing, as also along with running the business and making sure that the business is rolling and they're finding new clients. So unfortunately, retirement plans is one of the things that's kind of set off to the side, because like I said, they are investing in their future a lot of times because they're pouring time and resources back into their own business. Right. But unfortunately, a lot of times that does not necessarily mean that you're going to be prepared for some sort of retirement. And a lot of times people say, well, I'll never retire. But unfortunately, a lot of retirements are not planned. It might be medical issues or personal issues that are even issues with the business that you are running where things change and that same opportunity is not there anymore. And so you have to have some sort of financial plan for the future.
And there may not always be a superstar NBA player in your family lineage to come and be that retirement plan for mom and dad,
that
right?
Special inheritance.
Yeah. So I'm a small business owner, hypothetically. Where do I start, both in thinking about retirement planning for myself or for my employees?
Well, the first step is to think about what it is you're wanting to accomplish with a retirement plan for your company. A lot of times it is the business owner that is looking to be wiser or more tax efficient with the income and the revenues that they have. So a lot of times that's where it starts, but other companies might need to attract certain types of employees where they have to offer a more competitive type retirement plan to gain and attract certain types of employees. So it all depends on what the business owner is wanting to do with their retirement plan. If they're wanting to retain business owners, they're probably going to look towards a more robust 401k type of plan, which is probably the most commonly heard about or understood plan. But for small business owners who are just wanting to do some good things for themselves and offer some opportunities for their employees, there is much better, more cost-effective type measures that will allow a nice little small business company plan and allow some people to do some things for planning for retirement.
So expand on that specifically. What are some things that small business employers can do for their employees that are not super costly?
Well, the least expensive opportunity that employers have is to simply offer their employees the ability to be able to save into an IRA, which anybody can go open up an IRA with an advisor or at the bank. It's the most simple and basic retirement account that you can open up. But an employer can actually offer to take it out of their payroll, so to take it out of their paycheck, and then to send it to the company that they choose to put it at. So it literally is no money from the employer. There's no fiduciary responsibility or no legal issues with it. Literally, they're just taking a little bit of money out of their check. Say the employee says, I want to start saving $50 a month. They take the $50 out of the check each month, so it's on your pay stub that shows your contributions going in, and then they just simply send the check to the company for them. So it takes a little bit of time, and it takes a little bit of learning to kind of learn that process, but literally no responsibility and no real cost to the employer.
We hear these terms a lot: 401k, IRA. You mentioned IRA is probably the simplest option.
Right.
What are the differences between an IRA and a 401k?
Well, an individual retirement account is IRA based, so it's based on the individual's Social Security number. It's their own personal account. So IRA based is not employer sponsored, so it's not governed by the ERISA Act that came around in 1974 from the Department of Labor. That kind of there is some legal issues if you're going to offer a retirement plan to your employees. So an IRA is more so based on the individual. They need to do the research. They need to be doing the investment selections and those types of things. So an IRA is the most basic, and an employer can simply allow them to be able to put money in straight out of their paycheck, which all that's doing is more of an ease of management for the employee. There is another option that starts to step into the employer-sponsored world. It's called a simple IRA, but it is actually employer or governed by ERISA, but it is it allows you to save a little bit more money. So again, whatever the employer is trying to accomplish for the employee, if they're wanting to put away more money than just what's allowed into an IRA, which there are limits, only $5,500 per year, $6,500 per year if you're over the age of 50. So some of the employees might be saying, hey, I need to save more money than that. The company can offer a simple IRA, which allows individuals to be able to put all the way up to $12,000 per year.
Okay, perfect. So with a 401k, is that often a situation where the employer is involved? Say they're providing a matching, fund for if an employee takes 3% of their salary, the employer will match up to 3%, that type of thing?
Right. The Simple offers that as well, where an employer is going to have to do that 3% match or a variation of that. And so that would be in a more in-depth discussion with what that employer is trying to accomplish. But the 401k offers more flexibility as far as being able to save more money per year. So again, if you're trying to attract higher compensated individuals for your business, if there's high compensated people that are going to help your business go into the next realm of success for your business, and you're trying to attract those people, typically some of those individuals might be looking for a 401k and what would be called a profit sharing or a safe harbor plan, which allows them to save much more than the limits that are on an IRA or a simple IRA. So they're looking to save more per year to prepare for their retirement.
What other tips would you have for small business owners on how to get started and how to get in the mindset of thinking about retirement planning?
Well, I think, to find a trusted advisor, and it's kind of a plug on what we do, but to a certain extent, you are wearing so many hats as a self-employed person, as a business owner, and you want to find somebody that you can trust that is going to help you navigate the robust world of investments and financial planning and financial plans, because as a financial plan, as a one who offers that, you are putting yourself under some fiduciary responsibility that you need to follow the guidelines of the laws of retirement plans. And so, unless you want to add lawyer and that to your repertoire also as a self-employed person, find a trusted advisor that's going to help look at your company, look at your employees, their compensation levels, and find a plan that makes sense for you and your employees and helps you get to your goals and also can offer a great benefit to your employees.
So let's make sure you get to talk about your business a little bit.
Yep.
Tell us about MoneyWise, guys. You mentioned you're a local, independent organization. Tell us about what you do, where you're located, and how people can get in touch if they'd like some retirement planning advice.
Yeah, well, we're there on Stockdale Highway. We're right across the street from the old soccer fields at Cal State. And we help individuals and even business owners come up with financial plans and goals that make sense for them. So we help a lot of individuals, but also for a lot of our individuals, they have gotten their wealth by being self-employed. And so a lot of times they can find ways to do things a little bit differently and offer benefits to their employees. And so we sit down with individuals and help them come up with those plans and things that make sense for their situation.
You know, something struck me about what you said earlier, that oftentimes higher compensated people are looking for retirement options provided by the employer, and that can be a major incentive for where they choose to be employed. Do you guys see that often? Is that something that that prospective individuals are often looking at?
Absolutely. I mean, if it's a specialized type of company that has specialized employees that have some formal training and those types of things, you know, they're not just looking at income anymore. You know, they're obviously that's going to be a very important part of their decision, but they're going to be looking at the retirement plan and what is offered. And if there's some sort of profit sharing or safe harbor plan that offers some match and allows them to be able to put more money away towards retirement, some well-compensated people are looking for that thing. So I think that's a huge differentiator in some businesses. Now, there's other businesses where, you know, it might be more temporary in nature. Your employees might not necessarily be a 20 or a 30-year employee. And so there's other ways that you can still help them get on track with their retirement planning and do some great things for yourself as a business owner.
So the message sounds pretty simple in there. If you are looking for people that have an expertise, you know, you're getting into the people with the advanced college degrees and things like that, and you want them to come and then stay at your company, retirement incentives can be a huge way to help accomplish that goal.
Absolutely, and it benefits the owners in that as well, and you're able to offer that and attract the type of employees that you want working for your company. So again, it all boils down to the unique situation that an individual has. If it's a small business and the employees are more temporary, you know, it may be a different type of a plan than, like you said, for somebody who's looking to attract long-term career type minded people who are going to be looking for those retirement plans and a company that's going to be looking out for their best interest in the future as well.
Fantastic. Kris, thank you for being here today with us. Tell us one more time how to get a hold of MoneyWise guys if you're interested in retirement planning advice.
Yeah, you can always get a hold of us in the office at 847-1000, or you can look at our website, moneywiseguys.com.
847-1000. That's a great phone number.
There you go.
You guys
Easy
did a
to
good
remember.
job getting that phone number. That's from a marketing guy. Kris, thank you so much for being here today. We enjoyed having you and look forward to hearing about all the great work you continue to do.
Thanks.
All right. I'm Jimmy Phillips for the Chamber. We will be right back with folks from the Current Economic Development Corporation. Stay tuned.